Hey there, welcome to a new deep dive.
Hello.
Today we're cracking open a source that's incredibly practical. It's a script.
Yeah, for a podcast episode, actually.
And it's specifically crafted to help English language learners tackle one of the biggest hurdles out there.
Which is speaking with confidence, right?
Yeah.
And building that fluency.
Exactly. So our mission today...
Well, we want to go beyond just summarizing. We really want to extract the absolute most valuable, actionable strategies.
And maybe some surprising insights from this material.
Yes, so that you, our listener, can take them and immediately apply them.
Apply them to train your speaking muscles, maybe?
Yeah.
And push past that hesitation?
That hesitation so many learners feel, it's a big one.
Because truly, for countless people learning English, the fear of speaking it's just a much bigger barrier than tricky grammar rule.
Oh, absolutely. Or even vocabulary.
Yeah, you can know all the theory, but if you can't, get the words out, it's tough.
It's that psychological weight, isn't it? The fear of making a mistake, the worry about pronunciation, the anxiety of not being understood.
Right.
That internal pressure can completely freeze you up. It can silence you, even when you actually know the correct English.
And this source really confronts that head on. It doesn't pull any punches.
Not at all.
Right at the start, it drops what I think is a real truth bomb. You ready for it?
Lay it on us.
Confidence is more important than perfect grammar.
Wow. Okay. It sounds almost controversial, doesn't it?
It does. But the logic presented is incredibly compelling when you think about it.
How so?
Well, think about someone who speaks with zero confidence. They might be quiet, hesitant.
Constantly second-guessing themselves.
Exactly. Even if their grammar is technically perfect, it's hard to follow them, you know? Their message gets lost.
Right, lost in the delivery. But on the flip side...
Someone who speaks with confidence, even if they drop an article here or there, or maybe mess up a verb tense.
They project, they make eye contact, they keep the conversation flowing.
Yes. And you understand their idea because they have the courage to communicate it clearly with energy.
Confidence allows that connection. It really does.
It's just like watching little kids, right? Learning their first language.
They don't wait until they've mastered, subject-verb agreement.
Not at all. They just try words, play with sounds, repeat everything.
They fall down, they get back up, they just keep going.
They aren't afraid of making noise and making mistakes.
Which brings us to a really foundational lesson echoed throughout this source material.
What's that?
Fluency is built through mistakes, not avoided by fear.
Ooh, I like that. That perspective shift is so critical.
It really is. If you see every error as like a catastrophe, you'll just never speak.
Right. But if you see errors as feedback,
right,
necessary feedback,
as proof you're trying,
then you'll learn faster and actually build that fluency.
Yeah. And the source is super practical about this. It immediately gives you a simple call to action.
Okay.
Something to internalize this whole idea.
Yeah.
It suggests repeating this affirmation, really letting it sink in.
What's the affirmation?
I don't need to be perfect.
Yeah.
I just need to be brave.
Simple, but powerful.
That phrase can be like a lifeline, in those moments of hesitation.
Just remembering bravery is the real goal that can free you up. Okay, so how do we actually do that? How do we put this bravery into practice?
Well, this material provides a brilliant, simple 3-step formula for building that speaking confidence.
This is where the rubber meets the road.
Exactly. It's called the confidence formula, and it's incredibly memorable. Repeat, record, react.
Repeat, record, react. Okay, step 1, repeat.
So the suggestion here is to find phrases you hear, or maybe ones you like, and just say them out loud.
How many times?
Maybe even 10 times, the source suggests. The goal isn't just rote memorization, though.
Right. It's about getting comfortable with the physical act of making those sounds.
Precisely. Training your mouth, your tongue, making the phrases feel, automatic.
Okay, makes sense. Step 2, record.
Use your phone's voice memo app or any recorder. Now, this step is crucial.
Even if it feels awkward at first, I know I hate hearing my own voice sometimes.
We all do. But hearing your own voice speaking English actually helps you get used to it. It demystifies it.
Okay.
And it significantly reduces that self-consciousness over time. What sounds maybe strange in your head often sounds much better on the recording.
Interesting. Okay, and step 3, react.
This one's about building spontaneity. So you watch a short video clip, or maybe read a piece of text. Then you pause, and you react to it out loud, as if you were part of that scene or conversation.
So not summarizing, but just responding naturally.
Exactly. Don't summarize. Just respond. This trains your brain to think and formulate English quickly, like in the moment.
Got it. Repeat, record, react. The source gives an example for repeat, right?
It does a perfect one using the phrase, I totally agree with you.
Yes. And they walk you through repeating it slowly at first, like, I totally agree with you. Really focusing on the sounds.
Yeah, and then gradually building speed. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Faster and faster until it just flows naturally off your tongue.
And a fantastic challenge they suggest for the record step
What's that?
is to take that same sentence, I totally agree with you, and record yourself saying it with 3 different emotions.
Oh, interesting. Like how?
Like genuinely excited, then calm and neutral, and then maybe sarcastic.
Ah, that forces you to play with intonation, doesn't it? And how delivery changes the meaning.
Totally. It's incredibly useful practice.
So you've got repeat, record, react, really concrete ways to practice. This material also shares a fantastic real-life example.
Yes, a learner who really embodied this bravery and found a way forward.
Who was it?
The story of Anna from Poland. The source describes how she was initially, terrified to speak, completely freezing up.
Oh, I can relate to that feeling. So what does she do?
Her breakthrough came from integrating English into her everyday life. Very simple, very accessible.
Oh.
She just started talking to herself in English while doing ordinary things.
Like what?
Like cooking dinner, walking her dog, tidying up her apartment.
Just narrating her actions, describing what she saw.
Exactly. Yeah. Voicing her thoughts. Okay, now I'm chopping the onions. That kind of thing.
That story really drives home a key point from the source then.
Which is...
You don't always need a formal class or even a conversation partner, right?
Right. Consistency and finding creative ways to use English throughout your day. That's powerful stuff.
You can build fluency just by being brave enough to speak, even just to yourself.
And that idea, integrating practice into daily life, leads directly into the next concept from the source.
Okay.
Creating your own daily speaking gym.
A speaking gym. I like that. Like a workout routine.
Exactly. A short, structured routine to specifically train your mouth, as they put it, and build fluency.
How long does it take?
It's an 8-minute suggested routine. Broken down into simple steps you can basically do anywhere.
Okay, 8 minutes. That's manageable. What's first?
You start with a warm-up. 2 minutes using tongue twisters.
Ah, the classics.
Yeah, the source list ones like she sells seashells by the seashore, red lorry, yellow lorry.
Oh, that one's hard.
And how can a clam cram in a clean cream can?
Okay. And the technique.
Say them slowly and carefully. First, really focus on the sounds, then gradually speed up.
Good way to loosen up the speaking muscles. What's next? 2 minutes down.
Then comes exercise 1, another 2 minutes. Describe what you see.
Okay.
The instruction is super straightforward. Wherever you are, just look around and describe objects, actions, your surroundings in English.
And it doesn't have to be perfect.
Not at all. The source gives this really relatable, casual example like, on my desk, I have a blue notebook, a half-full coffee mug, and wait, is that a chocolate wrapper?
Huh. Love it. So no need for poetry, just spontaneous speaking.
Exactly. The goal is just to speak spontaneously about your immediate environment.
Okay, 4 minutes done. What's exercise 2?
Another 2 minutes for answer personal questions.
Like what kind of questions?
The source provides 3 excellent prompts. What's your favorite time of day and why? What would you do if you won $1 million? And describe your dream holiday in 3 sentences.
Good ones. And the idea is...
Pause. Think for just a second, and then answer them out loud. Practice forming your own thoughts into spoken English.
Okay, 6 minutes. What's the last 2 minutes?
The cool down, 2 minutes, using daily affirmations in English.
Reinforcing that positive mindset.
Exactly. The positive statements suggested in the source are things like, I am becoming more fluent every day.
Nice.
Speaking English is fun and natural for me. And my voice matters. My message is important.
Repeating those helps build that positive association with speaking.
Definitely. So there's your 8-minute plan. Tongue twisters, describe what you see, answer questions and affirmations.
A simple, structured way to get active speaking practice daily. I like it.
Beyond just routines, the source also suggests getting a little playful with it.
How so?
With practice drama, basically mini role plays.
Oh, that sounds fun. And useful for preparing for real-world interactions.
Totally. The scenario they offer is one many learners might face, trying to order coffee at a busy cafe, specifically in New York, in the source's example. And you encounter a barista who maybe doesn't immediately understand your accent.
That can be stressful.
Yeah, so they even provide lines for the barista character. Like, hi there, what can I get started for you today?
Standard.
And then later, if you're maybe mumbling or having trouble being understood, sorry, did you say a latte or a tea?
Gotcha. So practicing navigating that specific interaction, it helps you prepare not just what to say.
But also how to handle those moments where communication breaks down a bit.
And the source is clear if you mess up.
Try again. Just try again. It builds resilience for those real-life stumbles.
Which, again, just reinforces that central theme, right? Mistakes are just part of the process.
Exactly. It's all about being brave, not perfect.
The source also proposes something else, a social challenge, to put yourself out there.
Yeah, in a pretty low-stakes way. The specific challenge is to record a short video, like 30 seconds.
Okay, of what?
Of yourself saying, my name is your name, and I'm learning English confidently every day.
And then share it.
Yeah, maybe with a specific hashtag like hashtag confident English, which the source mentioned, and maybe tagging the original podcast at English Express Podcast if you wanted to connect with their community.
The point isn't really performance, is it? It's more about building community.
And proving to yourself you can speak English publicly, even if it's just one short planned sentence.
It's a step towards overcoming that public speaking fear.
Definitely. Now, this material also addresses a really common and challenging listener question, one I hear frequently too.
Oh yeah, what is it?
This question comes from Raj in India, according to the source. He asks, how can I stop translating from my native language when I speak?
Ah, yes. That internal translation step, it can really slow you down and make things feel unnatural.
Absolutely. And the answer provided in the source is quite detailed and strategic.
What's the core idea?
It boils down to actively training your brain to think directly in English, bypassing that translation step altogether.
Easier said than done, maybe. How do they suggest starting?
They suggest starting really small. Like go around your room and just label objects in English in your head, or even quietly out loud.
See the chair, think chair. See the window, think window.
Exactly. Then build on that as you do simple daily actions.
Like making coffee.
Yeah, describe them to yourself out loud in English. I am opening the door. I am pouring water.
So you train your brain to associate the action directly with the English phrase.
Precisely. Another great tip they give is watching TV shows or movies without subtitles.
Ooh, challenging.
It is, but you actively try to guess the meaning from context. Facial expressions, actions, the other words you do understand.
So don't worry about catching every single word.
No, focus on getting the main idea and just associating the sounds with the situation on screen.
Okay, and over time?
Over time, the source explains, these consistent habits help rewire your brain. You start processing information and forming thoughts directly in English.
Making that native language translation step less necessary.
And eventually, for many things, maybe even eliminated. It takes conscious effort, for sure.
But it works.
It works.
Okay, one more thing from the source. It wraps up with something called a quick-fire fluency drill.
Yeah, or a speed round.
What's the goal here?
This technique is designed to build your reaction speed, which is vital in real conversations, right?
Yeah.
You don't have minutes to compose your reply.
True. So how does it work?
The method is simple. You hear a short sentence and you repeat it instantly.
Yeah.
Like without overthinking it at all.
Okay. Do they give examples?
Yes. Great examples of common, useful sentences for this drill. Things like, I'm not sure, but I can find out.
Useful.
Could you speak a little slower?
Definitely need that one sometime.
That's a great idea. I'll be there in 10 minutes. And sorry, I didn't catch that.
All really practical phrases.
And doing this daily, even for just a minute or two, helps train your brain to access and produce these kinds of ready-made phrases quickly.
It builds that reaction fluency you need for natural back and forth dialogue. Exactly. Okay, so pulling it all together then, what does this deep dive into this specific source material really mean for you, the listener, and your English journey?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that confidence in speaking English isn't some, elusive talent you're born with or without.
Right. It's a practical skill.
A skill you can develop just like any other, through consistent practice and, really importantly, the right mindset.
And it strongly reinforces the idea that you just need to speak more. Spend less time worrying about those inevitable mistakes.
Trying is the key. Just trying.
And it shows you exactly how to do that, right? You can make speaking practice manageable.
And even fun.
Yeah, by integrating it into your daily life with techniques like that confidence formula.
Repeat, record, react.
Or the daily speaking gym.
That 8-minute routine.
Or even just simple self-talk like Anna did.
Every single time you choose to speak English, whether it's repeating a phrase 10 times, describing the objects on your desk, or talking yourself through making coffee.
You are actively building that fluency muscle. You are improving.
Keep talking, keep trying, and maybe most importantly, keep being brave.
And if you're looking for extra tools, the original source mentioned things like a free speaking workbook.
Right, and encouraged joining their Instagram challenge. Great ways to get more structured practice and connect with other learners who are on the same path.
Definitely.
And the final thought this material leaves us with, it's perhaps the most powerful takeaway of all. Something to remember every single day you practice.
What is it?
Mistakes are proof you're learning.
Embrace that idea.
Yeah. See every stumble not as a failure, but as a necessary step forward on your path to fluency.
Keep going. You've got this.